My name is Kat. I I have been a psychic pretty much all my life. All right.
Welcome to psychshotel.com. The next available operator will be with you shortly. Hello, Dad.
Hello. YouTube kicked me off again.
You up?
Yeah, I get an error now.
I have you live here. Yeah, you're still live.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, you're live. You're live.
All right. Now my mouth isn't moving.
Yes, that is maybe because of the video feed. Let's try and continue. Just keep on with the stream
Okay.
and wait until I call you back. Just keep on with normality.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Hello. My name is Kat. I have been a psychic since the age of 3. If I could picture something in my mind, usually I could say it's in some kind of place, or I don't know how else to put it, but like keys inside of a coat pocket. Something in a box that you didn't expect it to be in. I can generally say what is going on. I see things that help me help you, and I think it's going great. I have found a new deck for me. It is called the Soul Cats, and it is so accurate. It is just wonderful. And so I think it's going to be great working with you on or with these cards with your questions. Now with this deck, I have a few that are my favorite. One, of course, is the Sun card, and that is a card that actually it brings out the meaning of the sun. It brings warmth. It brings energy to the person. To me, it's great. It represents great, positive things that are about to happen, and that is because of the energy of the sun. It generates positive things and what to look forward for or to. The other card that I just adore is kind of a weird one, but it is the High Priestess. She is an all-knowing cat, no matter what, and she can guide you, help you, and at times, yes, that might be a little bit painful as you go through it, but the end ends up being very, positive. And that's what makes it good. She is just, I think she's awesome. And then there's, of all things, it is the Ace of Swords. Swords generally don't bring out a lot of good for people, but with this one, it's got it turned around. In this, she sees into your heart, your soul, and knows what you're going through and what you could do to change it. And yes, you may have to delve up some of the past and kind of just learn how to better deal with it. And she's right there with you. Once you're done with the, I don't know, purging or whatever you want to call it, she'll be behind you, kind of lifting you up, saying you've done a very good job. Now you can go forward. So she is a great card. There are some that are very energetic. There are others that are very laid back. And it's like you get to choose kind of in your reading what is going to be. It's all in how you ask the question. I do recommend two things. The other is to take in a deep breath. You hold it for a count of 3, and then you blow the breath out. Controlled and full. The other thing is, I guess basically just try to relax. It'll work. It's good, and you'll like the reading much better. As I say, even if it starts out a little painful, you're still going to like the reading better if you're open to it. Alright? So, I think you're doing wonderful. I don't see any big problems coming up for you. As I say, I love this deck. It's a new deck for me. I've only had it for about a month. And I just about use it every day. And so, I love it. I have several other decks. I have collected over my many years, 20 or 30 years that I've been doing readings. I have collected well over 50 decks. And I've given a few to my granddaughter. I'm not as into the oracle cards. I prefer the actual tarot cards. So that to me says a lot. So she got all of my oracle cards that I had. I also look at kind of at times the astrology. Now, I do not ever claim to be an astrologer, but as it was put to me by someone who was teaching me the astrology, I now know enough to be dangerous. So I can get a little bit into it, but I'm by far not a professional. I don't know very much, actually. But I can work with it a bit, and usually it's pretty good. Timing is the other thing that is real hard to predict. I can go by the seasons that first I see in my third eye. If I could see the season, and the only confusion there, sometimes in spring, before the leaves actually start budding, they still look bare. So it could be winter going into spring, something like that. But I can generally tell what season, um, whatever you're asking for, would happen. At times, yes, I do go through the cards and get at least a rough estimate on when things are going to start happening. So all of this comes together. And I mean, I work with crystals, I work with just about everything. I don't really do much with angels. I mean, I do. When you need protection or something, I can tell you, call them Archangel Michael. Things like that. But I don't do a lot with angels. And I think that's probably better suited for someone who does do a lot with angels. So, as I say, I've been doing this for about 64 years, and I love it. I love helping people. I love sharing, helping people to grow, even somewhat, modify what's going on in their lives. How to teach you how to progress, how to not really change you. I don't like that word, change. But to teach you how you can make your life better. And that to me says a lot. All right? I think as people, I think you're going to be great. And yes, if, like, in a relationship, something could happen. And yeah, I mean, on that, if the Tower card were to come up, I can honestly tell you, all right, the situation currently might be ending, mostly due to something is almost irreparable about it. But the interesting thing is, even with that happening, the flip side of that is that you actually get to start over, start new with that same person. So it's teaching you how to get back in touch with what you want, how you want it, and how that melds with the person you're involved with. It, like I say, initially, you tell that to somebody and they're going to get hurt. They might even go into a panic. The thing is, the outcome is actually a positive. So I think on that level, again, it's a great card. Now with this particular deck, some of them are just so different than other decks. Like with this deck, the devil doesn't mean they're out to hurt you, or a person is not out to hurt you or sabotage you. But they are going to kind of clean up, so to speak, if you make a mistake. And yes, they would be saying, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. Now, we could fix it, or if you don't want to, then okay, we can let you go. But it's saying it's different. Hello, Julie. How are you today? Do you have a question for me? Hello, Jaylee. How are you? I see it. I'm fine. I think you're good. Yeah, well, who wants the reading? I do think Your question is going to be interesting. Yes, I do tarot readings. I also do clairvoyance, which is where I see images, I see things. I can warn you of a situation, different things. But yes, I do tarot readings most of the time. You're welcome. Yeah, you're good. So, now, do you have a specific question to start with? Okay, what is in store for Aquarius this month? Well, let's take a look. What's in store for Aquarius this month? Alright. And here we go. Well, we start out with the Death card. Now, again, that's not a bad thing. Death means transformation. So what that says is things may take some drastic turns. With that alone, it's like, okay, if you picture your life or your work as a 360-degree circle, it's complete, it's all there, good, bad, everything. You take half of that circle away, and that's what you're going to get. So if you're in a bad situation, Aquarius would be saying, what do I need to do to change it? You guys are very talkative, very strong, strong-minded, even though other people might not think so, but that's their problem. I think you're doing okay. There's a little bit of hurt coming up, but again, it's a positive. You will actually learn how to relax this month, and that's important because it's just kind of letting things go. Okay? I think you're going to be ending up very happy with what goes on for you this month. Okay? Now, are there any other questions? And now, hello, Bruschetta. How are you doing today? I think, again, I think what you're going through is going to be very interesting. I think you're going to like the outcome. And why do I think that pertains to a specific person? Yes, Bruschetta, what is your question? I'm doing fine too, Bruschetta. I'm glad you're doing well. And now, as you can probably hear, I am shuffling my cards. And this is your school project. How's it going to go? All right. How does Bruschetta's school project go? All right. Well, darling, it looks great to me. I mean, you get the And here we go again. I do a description of the cards. You start out with the Four of Swords, which actually means rest and relaxation. You're doing better than you think. Then you get the Queen of Cups, and this indicates being able to go forward. So if you're looking to progress into the next level of your project or people, then you're going to succeed. Final card is the Ace of Pentacles. This is good. So overall, yeah, you can actually breathe, okay? Remember, deep breathe. It makes a difference. And you'll be just fine. All right, and Julie, you have another question. The best time to perform love rituals, basically, I believe, I don't know if this is quite correct, but it's what they tell me. It would be, well, actually, as odd as it sounds, I would say during the new moon, which is where you start something new. You would, it would either be the new moon or the full moon. And that might vary depending on the month and the year. But yeah, you would want to use red candles. I would do anointment of the candles with love oil, that kind of thing. And just say what's in your heart. All right? Does that help? And now, Bruschetta. Okay, you say that's a relief, and I'm very nervous about it. Yeah, I know. It shows. And when you get nervous, you don't breathe real well. Remember, take a deep breath in through the nose, hold it for a count of 3, and mind, deep as you can, and then blow it out, and you'll be amazed at how calm you get. And that's going to help you with your paper, okay? Or your project, sorry. Yeah, breathing is good. It's very good. I think it's, let me say, it feels good. It isn't just good for the body, but it feels good. So you're doing great. And have faith in you, okay? Why do I get the impression you don't always have faith in what you're doing? You have a lot of doubt and a lot of fear. And that is something to, well, shall we say, work on? And I've never been to college. I don't think I could take that kind of pressure. How do you decompress, Bruschetta? I mean, when you get home, do you take a nice warm bath or something to relax you, like incense that you just sit in the room and just close your eyes and relax? Oddly enough, sometimes a pet, a cat or a small dog, even a big dog, whatever you prefer. Petting those, with, it's good. I think you guys are doing great. I think Julie has a lot of her own self-doubt. But with love rituals, Julie, let's just see what what comes up, because I know love rituals, the only problem with kind of casting spells and that sort, you find that if you don't refresh them, like every month, sometimes every day, you find that the spell breaks. And when the spell breaks, it is horrid. I mean, there's no way to get back together with that person. It just stops. So you do want to be careful with doing any kind of spell casting, okay? And Roshetta, you can breathe. It's good. I mean, you've got the right idea, and I think you're gonna. I think with the practice of that deep breathing, and like I said, just a little bit of incense, I think you'll find that you can really relax. I know a lot of people like lavender. I personally cannot have lavender near me. I tend to quit breathing. So I don't care for lavender myself. Oh, both of you, Julie and Bruschetta. You've got a lot going on. Who on earth? I'm not sure which one of you, but there is someone that is interested in you, and you think of him as just a friend, but he wants more. And I think you'll be amazed, because he's good, he's got a great heart. Yes, he's got his faults just like everyone else. Who doesn't? Things go well. All right? Now, on the incense, bruschetta, make sure that it's something that you can smell. Because you don't want something that you buy and then get home and you don't like it. See what you can do with that. Just whatever smell attracts you, and that will be great. Okay? So, on the relationship front, no, Bruschetta, you don't. And that's a shame, because you're bright, you're funny, and people admire you. I don't know how else to put it. They just flat admire you. That's strong. Now, is this project that you're working on? Why do I think it's a fairly small type of classroom? And darling, there are several people there that you can actually kind of convince them to follow their heart, to do what they need to do. And if it's not in that class or that college, then they know what to do. But you have been the influence. That's because they listen to you, they like you, and for the most part, I think they like your delivery. It's like you provide them options. I think it's good, because these people do listen to you. Okay, yes. I know. I'm sorry. Hello, Chris. How are you today? I think you're doing well. Better than you think. Oh, Bruschetta, they do. They like you. You, there are, okay, here I am. I'm a blunt person. I don't have a lot of tact. For that, I apologize all the time. Okay? I do not wish to offend anyone. But if you're into guys or girls or both, it doesn't really matter at this point because the guys seem to really like you. They talk about you, but in a good way. Okay? Now, Rebecca. That's good. Yes, deep breathing is always good. It's one of my things that I tell so many of my clients. Breathe. You're not breathing. It's too shallow. Breathe. And it does. It calms you down and it gives you time to think. And it helps a lot. And Chris, you say you're fine but very tired of your job. So we need to figure out where you want to go in your job. Or, well, not your job now, but where you want to go, career-wise. And the company you're with is kind of a dirty company. I don't mean they're criminals. I just mean it's like you walk in and it's like it's dim, it's dirty looking, but it's not dark and black. You are going to get out of that job, and I love it because something is going to happen. Apparently, it is, I would say, within the next 4 weeks or so. Where because you're actually out of that job or in that process anyway, you don't get hurt. And by that, somebody at that building, that company, is going to get very hurt because they're doing something they should not be doing. So it's good that you're getting out. Now, the job that you go to, first of all, are you anywhere near water? Thank you, Rebecca. Peace to you too. I don't know, because I keep seeing, it's like maybe the shore of the ocean or, oh, good Lord, Chris. Yeah, you got to get out of there. The job you get is going to be, as I say, there's something about water. I don't know if you're in a north country or state, if you're in the U.S., but don't grab the first job that you come across, all right? You may be sorry, because I think they'll be worse than what you've got now, all right? But it shows here that the job you get, yeah, boy, is it happening soon. Okay, yes, you're going to get out of that job. You're not going to look back. You're not going to, I think you're going to be laughing when you leave, okay? The job you get is around some kind of water. We're talking about a river, a lake, the ocean, some kind of water. It doesn't mean it's directly next to it, but like within maybe 10 miles. So it's pretty close. But this seems to happen, dear, in 1 month to up to, I'd say, 10 weeks. Okay, so you're not on the coast. All right. Well, there might be a lake or a pond or something near where you're going to be working. But you're going to have a lot of good, because what this company you're working for now, it's teaching you, it's giving you a skill that in your new job is going to be very good. And that's a plus. Yeah, it's always good to kind of plan ahead. And I gather you've already started to at least update your resume, or you've been sending it out. That's a very good action to take. All right? You've got the Ace of Wands with what's coming up, and that is action taken. So you're going to be the one that says bye-bye to this, and you're glad to walk out that door. When you do, like I say, you're going to be laughing. Shortly, I'm giving it 6 months after you leave there, I think you'll hear or see that something very negative has gone on with that company. And you'll be glad you're gone, because you had nothing to do with it. So you're doing very well. And I think you do overwork yourself. You know, I know you need the money. I know you need what you need. Okay? But sometimes the money just isn't enough to get us through, because we don't enjoy the job. In this new job coming up, what I'm looking at, I know this sounds really weird, but it just the difference between the job you have now and the job you will have. Okay, the job you've got now is kind of dirty and grungy, and the new job is going to be more bright, cheery. It's I don't know how else to say it, but it's full of yellow, and that is like the sun or daisies or something that, you know, you think of the Jello, and it's good. I mean, it's just that kind of change. And again, yes, you will be you're gonna be preparing. You are going to finish, I'm going to say, whatever they've got you working on before you leave, and that's not going to take you very long, dear. You'll be able to leave there and walk out, like I say, 3 weeks, maybe 4. So I think, yeah, it's going to go well. And the cards back that up, dear. I think you're doing wonderful. So, I would have to say, you're a great person, and you want to have some time to relax, to be you. Working basically 24 hours a day, that doesn't even give you time to sleep, much less take a walk or eat. or anything else. It's like you're glued to the job. And that's never good. No, no. So it's going to get better. Now, this other job, it is not very far from you. Okay. Alright. Will the guy that Chris is dating, how does that relationship turn out? What occurs? And where do things go? Okay. Well, I do believe, my dear, from the looks of this, now you've been dating him for 7 years. It hasn't really progressed. What's going on with that? You're going to have to decide if you want to stay with him. I mean, I think he wants to, and you're willing to put in all the effort. But he's got to put in a lot too. You're good. By any chance, does he have brown hair? The relationship will last. There just needs to be some things discussed better about the relationship. And let's see here. Yeah. Overall, dear, it looks like you've chosen well. You're not going to travel through life. You don't talk about things a lot. This might be a good time to start talking, because it's either you or this guy that is not opening up so much. It's all inside. And that's not helping. It's not helping the relationship. It's not helping whichever one of you it is. So you're going to need to get somebody here to open up a bit. And that's what's going to help carry this relationship farther, more securely, and better. Because I do believe this guy does actually love you. Believe it or not. And he's been hurt badly before. Has that been the problem? Because, again, one of you, and I think it's him more than you, has been greatly hurt. Whether it's been by past lovers, friends, family, he's been greatly hurt. And he's tended to still holds true there. Okay? But you can actually, both of you, reach this goal by helping each other. Okay? I think it's going to work for you. Not going to be easy for a while, but I think it's going to work. Alright? You guys need to move forward. Okay. And next question. Alright. Aha. I knew it had to be one of you. I mean, we're looking at you've been afraid to either, well, fight back because you might get hurt worse, down to they're all more internal scars. And yeah, those are hard to get rid of. I mean, people see the outer scars and they're going, oh, that poor person. The inner scars, they don't see. They just see odd behavior. And that you don't deserve. So, what this is saying is quite definitely find a way to trust your guy and let him in. I mean, I know you've told him quite a bit, but there's still a lot that's locked inside that you're afraid of. Okay? I believe he'll understand. Alright? Because that's what I'm get confirmed by the card. And were you guys going to get married? Well, the cards are saying you can actually relax with this guy. Alright? There's progress going forward. The hopes and feelings for both of you is positive. When you get the Chariot, and a Chariot isn't necessarily physical travel, but it's inner travel. So it's like, I want to be this, I want to be better, I want to be stronger, whatever it is, and you start taking that action, you can actually, in a sense, travel towards that destination. And that's what your guy's willing to help you with. He's calm, he's relaxed, he knows you more than you think he does. And then the final card is you could sit back for a while because it's the Two of Pentacles. And this is just simply, you could sit back and relax and watch for a change. Someone else doing a lot of the work. Alright, now, hi Elisha. Hope I said that right. Alright, Caesar. Alright. Alright. What has been the biggest argument? Because I get a lot of red, passion, anger around the two of you. And then a lot of black afterwards. So is Caesar breaking up with I don't think he's breaking up with you, at least not at this time. He still loves you, he still wants to be with you, but in that, something has to change. I don't know how long you've been together. Offhand, I'd say at least 2 years. And what this is saying is sometimes you don't think you know him, or he doesn't think he knows you. So what this is saying is here we go again. Learn to communicate. Because that would be the only reason the Caesar would leave. Alright? he feels disconnected from you and that things are out of balance. So he thinks he's doing more work in the relationship than you are. And that's not exactly true, all right? But if you point out to him bluntly everything that you do, that starts an argument, all right? I do not get that there's another person, so it's not that he's cheating on you, although he might think about it, especially when he's upset. But it is a feeling of that disconnect. He loves you, he wants to be with you, but somehow you two have to learn to talk. Okay? Thank you. That's great. If I'm wrong too, I want you to let me know. What this is saying is try to stop arguing. Try stopping the things that cause arguments. And then you can teach him to do the same thing. Okay? It's kind of neat. But somehow, one of the things you can do is to remind him or even ask him to kind of relive like an old dating site or somewhere that you just went, whether it was for a few days or a few hours, and just had fun. And I mean, this is just an example, okay? I'm not saying that you've done this, but it's like you haven't been to the ocean in a long time. You had fun. You went there, you laughed, you could hold hands, you could skip in the water, you could do whatever you wanted to do. Okay. But you haven't done that. You have felt stuck in your home, and that's it. Now would be the time to say, you know what? Let's go do this. I think it would be fun. And I'll bet you he'll go along with it, even if he starts out not quite agreeable. Okay? And you are welcome, Elisha. I do know that things are going to work out for you. It'll be better. Alright? So, and let's see. Do you have another question? Because I'm anxious to see what you have to say next. I think it's going to be interesting. And so, what does the future hold for Elisha and Caesar? I do hope you're doing some kind of birth control or help with that. You're going to be surprised at how well things go. This card, the Empress, does not mean you are pregnant, but it does, if you take the whole concept of pregnancy, that could be plotting and planning and doing something outrageous or funny or, you know, that kind of thing. And Chris, okay. Is there anything he should know moving forward in general? Yes, transition times can seem to take forever. but generally they're so that you can kind of recap and rest. All right. Well, darling, you yourself are going to be with your life partner. This is such a long time to go forward, but I'm going to say it. You are going to go on a kind of a little journey, exploration. Now, this again, it could be in the mind, it could be talking, it could be actually doing, where you go someplace just to get out of the house with your guy. And it changes your whole energy. It's amazing. And then you will not feel like you're disconnected from your guy. All right? And that's what the transition is all about. You feel a little disconnect. So with this, you're going to be with your guy for a long time. I don't see anyone else entering your life. And if tradition plays out, darling, wherever you go or with your love, you're not going to be unhappy. Things are changing for you. You're on the right path. And you're going to be doing much better than you think you are. And especially right now. All right? So I think you're doing wonderful. Don't, which is something you have not done in a very long time. Okay? So, this just says things are going to be happening in a good way. You're going to love what you're doing. And whoever you're involved with is going to be in love with you too. You will share a lot. So, you've got a lot of changes coming. But apparently they're all good. So I think you're going to be happy. You're going to be great. All right? And again, you have not been able to laugh or smile much in the past few years. And it is time to get out of there. It's really important for you right now. So getting to the new job, going forward with that,